With another look at Kaspa. Hope you're having a beautiful day out there, everybody. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. And we're going to take a look at this chart in a second. One of two things going on here. Either this thing is going to go higher or we're coming into a corrective mode. All right, so we're going to cover that here in a second and take a look at some things that could be going on here. Okay, first off, I want to show you the block explorer. Look where the petahash is. We finally hit 60.45 petahash. All right, so pretty impressive. Something going on behind the scenes here that I'm sure they're going to come out with here pretty soon. 60 petahash, that is a first. All right, if we go down through here, now we have 327 nodes. When we looked at this the other day, I believe there was 260 or something. So got quite a few nodes popping up here. Just all of a sudden, they just seem to be piling up here. So if you take a look here, most of them are across Europe and the United States. You got a few of them scattered all over. Got some in China. Got more in Russia popping up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them up in Russia, Finland, all over the place. United States is really piling them up too. I mean, got a couple up in Canada, the whole way down into Malaysia. So a lot of stuff going on here. I got to grab my glasses so I can see a little bit better. Unfortunately, I don't have my contacts in right now, so I got to use my glasses. But yeah. Pretty awesome. 327 nodes now. These have doubled. We were at like 150 like a month and a half ago. So a lot of people out there seeing money, obviously, and running a node. I looked into a Gala node one time. I wish I would have jumped on it. I had the money then for it. I wish I would have jumped on that opportunity, so is a Gala node one of them big opportunities that we're all passing up on, possibly. You run a node, you get rewarded in Kaspa, so, only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see, but the rewards right now, let's get back up top here, 147 per block. So that is going to go down in 22 days. 74% of the tokens are mined, and that's 60 petahash. That gets me kind of pumped here. Top addresses, you'll notice we lost a couple whales here. All right. If you go down through here, as soon as this loads up, this all happened within the last 24 hours. 3. To be matter of fact, but we are +1 humpback, so I take it one of them whales turned into a humpback, because that is at +1. All right, and then -3 over the last 7 days, -6 whales. So few people taking some profits. Like we said, we went over them stats yesterday. If you put what was it, $8,000 in this thing, you'd have over $4 million right now. So who cannot blame you for taking some profits? I definitely would if I was in there. So another thing we want to cover here, if we go over to coin market cap, the volume is down 1.5% for the day. Still at 51.7 million, still way up there. $1.9 billion market cap. It is up 7.72%. And I was looking through these exchanges. You remember when we announced Coin One the other day? Yeah, there it is. 107,000 in in volume over the last 24 hours. Nothing to go really crazy about there. When they said that's what made that parabolic spike. I don't know if I believe that. $107,000 ain't gonna do it. When you get back to the top exchange here, MEXC with 18.7 million. All right, there's Gate next with 8 million. KuCoin about the same. BitGet with 3 million. XT with 3 million. Right down the line here. So Getting a lot more exchange listings, which is fantastic. Still waiting for that big Binance or Coinbase listing. Boy, oh boy, talking about putting this thing over the moon. That would do it right there. So, still waiting for that big one. I'm sure it's going to come. The more and more exposure this thing gets, the more and more of a chance it has to make it on there. And the ones that make it on Binance and uh, the bigger exchanges or the coins that have proven themselves. They're not rug pulls, and that they're stable. Look at this all-time low. This thing is a 52,589% up from its all-time high. 525x. That's the boy, oh boy, that's the one joke you find. All right, so I got a few comments yesterday about doing a new coin of the week. So maybe we'll start doing that next week here. I'll start looking at some. The only ones I look at that are ones that are financed by, or funded by Binance or backed by big corporations. That's the only ones I really look into. Something that's stable, something that could possibly make a big change in the market and stuff. That's the ones you want to jump on, like Kaspa here. Geez, oh man, I wish I would have seen this one early. Especially back in this time here, I would have loaded up millions of this thing. I mean, boy, oh boy, but it have paid off. Wow, that's what you gotta love about crypto, man. You could go from dirt poor. Uh, in 1 year, and 1 year later be a multi-millionaire. That's what's fun about cryptocurrency. It can change your life so fast. It's going to be super exciting, guys. I always talk about the bull run, but just wait, man. You guys are just going to get, be bonkers over it. That's all I gotta say. I love it. I can't wait. All right, but Casper for the month, it's up 107%. Look at these big gains out there. Gas, not sure what that is. That is rank number 88. Not sure what the heck that really is. But you got Chainlink up 92%. Boy, it's hard to believe it's only up 121% for the year. Chainlink seems to have been flying lately. Solana, too. Solana is another one right here. That's done a 3x. For the month, it's done a 1.5x. But a lot of coins out there doing very well. I believe, like I said, look at FTT. This thing is up for the month a 2x. For the year 70%. But this thing's dead. It's crazy. I mean, it really is. It's dead. It's a shame because this thing was such a. This thing had such big promise in it. I feel bad for everybody out there that lost their butts, with FTT because, a stable. That looked like the winner of the market right there. FTT looked like it was going to lead the crypto industry for a long time. What a shame. All right, let's get back over these charts, guys. All right, number one. Let's see what else is going on here today. Start right from the top. We got Bitcoin dominance. All right, still taking a little bit of a tumble on the daily. Yeah, still coming down here. Let's get our lines on here. It has broke through that 52.22. Look at it coming down towards that 702 fib. These are the areas, and that 786 is down at 51.5. So we'll see where it gets here. It's either going to come here and bounce or here and bounce. One of the two. All right. If it falls through them areas, that's probably going a lot lower. But you got that daily RSI just about ready to flip up on this thing. Bitcoin itself, it has done a pullback. All right. I thought maybe this was a ABC in here, when you're going to measure these out, especially on like a 8-hour, let's get this off here a second. You're looking for a 702 to a 618 retracement. Pull right up here to the beginning right there. It just doesn't don't look like ABC to me. Could be, I guess. Could have extended a little bit. Looks like that needs to be up a hair right there. If you bring it down on top, could be. We'll have to wait and check that out. But let's take a look at this thing here. See where this thing could be bouncing at. If you go out in the daily, broke out of that wedge. Obviously went a little bit higher than that. That looked like that looked like the fifth wave up in this thing. It really did. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you should have an ABC come in and then continue up. Alright, now as far as the daily RSI, still coming down. The weekly is right at the top and flip bearish. And the monthly is still heading up. Alright, so we'll see what happens with Bitcoin here. It'd be nice to see it break that 38,500, I believe it is. Right about there, 38,300. We bust through that, and this market is really just going to start flying. Look at the Dow Jones, up almost 500 points for the day. That's beautiful. That's definitely what we want to see here. And that thing's breaking up through the fib levels. Look at this. It's up right at the 786. Is it going to set a new all-time high? It's not far from it. If you take it percentage-wise, another 2.5%. This thing's going to set a new all-time high. Oh no, I apologize. A little bit higher than that. The all-time high is back over here, so it would be roughly 6%. Another 6%, and we'll set a new all-time high. And every time crypto has had a massive run, okay, the Dow Jones has went into new all-time highs. All right, the whole way back through here, back in 2017, you can see it right here. Let me get my brush. 2017. This is April, December. There's January of 2017. The whole way through. All this was the bull run in 2017 right there. Okay, if you go back to 2013, Bitcoin's first bull run, right through here, the whole time this thing was going up. That's when the bull run was going on. Alright, so it went up a total of, what was that, 41% in that bull run. This bull run here ended up going up 51%, so 40 to 50%. And then right here, October 20th, this was the last bull run we had. It started in roughly October, somewhere right around there. This was the last one right here. So every time we have had a crypto bull run, the Dow Jones was rising. So is this the start of another one right here? We'll have to wait and see. If it breaks this all-time high over here, I believe it's either going to do, we're going to get our retrace, or it's quite possible Bitcoin could break into a new all-time high. We'll just have to wait and see. Look at that Dixie. Look at this thing on the daily. Look at that red candle. Where things just rolling right over, isn't it? Wow, coming right down. So that's good to see. The daily RSI is still coming down, getting pretty low down here, so it's getting ready for a bounce here. The weekly still coming down, and the monthly looks like it wants to roll over. If you pull that up and look at it, look at that hook. Looks like it wants to roll over a little bit. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But that DXY, as long as it's coming down, usually crypto prices are going up. So when this thing's rising, crypto's usually coming down. All right, but let's get down through here. I think I got a touch of a cold here that time of unfortunately, that time of the year, geez, I caught COVID there a couple years ago, and just praying to God, a few people at work had it, so hopefully we don't run into that problem. All right, let's see here. Gold on this fib. It got up to that 702, got rejected. Look at the daily just starting back up. I truly believe, now let's look at the weekly. The monthly's at the top, trying to turn back up. Look at that. See that curve starting? And the weekly is bearish. I believe gold is going to go for a new all-time high. I don't know. I just feel it, you know. Unless this turns into and it could after it hit that 702. That 702 is, unless this turns into a big ABC, which would bring it down, down to these levels down here, 1740. So big time for gold right now. Right now is going to tell the story. Either it's going to break through this 702. Let's put this back up here. Either it's going to break through this 702 at $2,002, or it's rolled over for an ABC. Let's wait and see what happens with that. All right, to go down through the total 2. That's what we like to keep an eye on here. All right, just like we talked about yesterday, it's starting to have a little bit of a pullback. We talked about that yesterday in yesterday's video, especially on the daily. See how the daily's starting to pull down. All right, we talked about that. So this thing could be getting a little bit of a pullback here. How far could it come back? Well, let's take a look. This looks more like a 1, 2, 3, possibly a 4th wave here. So let's put a fib on here. Looks like wave 2. There we go. 618 could come down to 600 billion. Could lose about $36 billion here. We'll just have to wait and see how it turns out. It could turn out to be an ABC down to this 36. It doesn't look like an ABC though. It looks like looks exactly like this. 1, 2, 3. This is your 4th wave pullback, which could come the whole way back down to the top of wave 1. It could, but I'd be betting on this 618. Right about 600 billion bucks, and that would give time for them RSIs to reset and then get that 5th wave up there. That 12 hours about at the bottom. The daily is kind of just starting down. The weekly is at the top, and the monthly is still going up. All right, so could just get a simple retrace here back down to the 600 and then get our bounce from there. So let's clean that up a little bit on there. I hate getting my charts all messy. There we go. Let's get that 5 off there. There we go. That looks a lot better. But looks like one of the main areas to break for this thing is right, if you pull this down, right there. Seems to be a problem area for this. We break through that, and things could really get rolling here. In that weekly. Is this a total too? Yeah, this is the total market cap without Bitcoin. That's where we had that breakout. Right through here. Yeah, depends on where you want to put it, but that there just looks more realistic to me. To get a retest on that. Yeah, actually it did. We pull this up here, see how it broke out of it, and then retested on the blue line and went up. So, all right, let's get into Kaspa here, guys, and see what's going on with this thing, because there's one of two things going on here. All right, we talked about this yesterday about it getting through that 8.8. All right, first off, Let's open this chart up. We nailed the price extension, okay? We nailed it right to the point, okay? I did have that white line up here at 9.9, just a hair above where we ended up hitting, but we nailed it with the trend-based extension. Couldn't have done a better job. So I'm sure you guys out there that are have taken the trading courses, I'm sure you guys nailed this thing too. All right, just remember, take it from the bottom of wave one to the top of wave one to the retrace of wave two, right to the bottom. There you go. Perfect. Perfect extension. Gave us a perfect target, and we nailed it exactly. All right, now this blue line here was the resistance. All right, coming through. Now you can see we have broke that resistance. All right, there's a couple things I want to cover here, though. All right, number one, usually after 5 waves up, okay, that's what we ended up having here. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We end up with 5 waves up here. What happens after 5 waves up? If you've been with the channel for a while, you know exactly what I'm going to show here. Look at this. You have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have an ABC. Then you start your next 5 waves up. I have showed this on this channel, I don't know, probably 50 times now. Okay? Just normal 5 Elliott waves up, ABC, then you start 5 more up, okay? Is that what's coming in here? Not 100% sure, but we're going to see. And the reason I'm not 100% sure, because, granted, our trend-based extension gave us that perfect target up there that we ended up nailing, right? Okay, that would be... I was off a little bit there. I can't do it on there. You gotta do it on daily. Yeah. There's a couple reasons here. Alright, on the daily, go from the low to the high to the retrace. It's just hard to get exactly on there, especially when you're rushing for a video. And please hit the like and subscribe, guys. I would appreciate that so much, man. It helps me out a lot here. So, all right, anyway, we didn't get it exactly up here, but you get the point. All right, that gave us the target, which we hit. All right, but something looks a little off to me here. Okay, this almost looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be your 4th wave pullback and a 5th wave coming up, okay? Because I don't see much of a 4th wave in here. No matter what I look at, 12-hour, still, I don't see a 4th wave, all right? If your number 2 wave is not complex, then your 4th wave is going to be, okay? And you can see that if this is a 4th wave, it's a pretty decent pullback. Actually, could have came deeper, but if this is the 5th wave and this is done, then we should have an ABC coming in here. All right, which an ABC, is it? I don't believe if there's an ABC coming in yet. I don't believe it's done. I believe right here, this is going to be the tell-all story right here, okay? We're coming up to them areas. The 618 and the 702. If we can get through the 0.0928 right here, all right, then I believe we're not doing an ABC. We're going to go higher. Especially if we go through the 0.0946 right here. This blue area right here. Alright, so I want to mark these out. That's the top. That's the 786. We're going to turn that to blue. And this green, that is the 702. Alright, if you're charting along with me, maybe mark these out, because These areas are super, super important, okay? If we get stopped out in them areas, then more than likely, this is what's going on right here. A, B, and where would this C wave go? Well, we would have to take a measurement from here to here, pull it down on top, and that would give us a target for a C wave right down there at 0.071. Okay, all right. So that's why it's important that we break through them levels. All right, I am going to keep a very, very close eye on this. And if we do break through them levels, the next price target up, if we break through them, is going to be right up here at 0.112. All right, that would be your next price target. That would be the 1618. We'll turn that blue. That would be the next price target after this. So if we make it through 0.0946, all right, then we're looking for 11 cents to come in. That would be our next target up there. All right, which would kind of make sense to me. I do not see a fourth wave pullback in here. I just don't see it. As hard as I look, this just looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a fifth wave up. Which would be up to 11 cents. And with weekly RSI still heading up. Okay, that weekly RSI is at a 93 to 73. So it still has room to come up. And if you look at the daily, look at this thing. It is trying to curve back up. Look at it. It's starting to bend and it's trying to come back up. All right, you got the 12 on the floor. The 12-hour is reset and heading up. You got the 8-hour coming up. And the 4-hour is, what's it at? An 84. All right. So you got your 8 and your 12 at the bottom, both of them coming up, which are very powerful RSIs. Obviously, if we come back out here, that 12-hour, you can see here when the 12 runs up. This is what the 12-hour did. Had a pullback. Now the 12-hour is starting again. It's at that 618 already. Okay, the 8-hour. Once again, you see what when the price is at the bottom here. No matter where it's at. Okay, it doesn't matter where it's at. Price was at the bottom of the RSI here. It pushed up. How much did it push up? Don't look like a lot on there. 6%. Okay. This one here ended up pushing up. This one here ended up pushing up almost 9%. Okay, but the higher you go in the time frames, the bigger moves you get. Okay, the daily, the 12, the weekly, the monthly. The monthly is, it's like the higher you go, like with the monthly, weekly, and the daily, the more consistent they are. Like if it's at the bottom, on a weekly, chances are it's going to the top. Okay, this one here, when it was at the bottom, right here, it went to the top. That thing rose 2.5%. All right, this one here started back up. All right, that weekly is a big one. Okay, this one here ended up running 64%. Okay, then you came back down, had a small correction, and look what this one did. This one was a pretty decent beast in itself. It ended up running up 100%. Okay, and then this first one here, obviously that was a monster. That one ran up 6.5%, 662%. So the weekly is very, very reliable. The daily is very reliable. All right, when it's at the bottom, price goes up. When it's at the bottom, price goes up. When it's at the bottom, right here, price goes up. You can go all through these. Okay, if you just sold, and I've said this before, especially on a weekly, All right, if you just bought and sold on a weekly, if you said, oh boy, the RSI is at the bottom right here, I'm going to buy. All right, so if that's all you did was buy and sell on a weekly, all right, you would have bought here, all right, it ran up, got to the top up here, you would have sold up here. All right, so obviously you would have been in profit. All right, once again, the weekly came down, it flipped over bullish right here. You would have bought right there. All right, when it came up, ran up here, ended up flipping bearish right there. You would have sold right there, would have been in profit. Okay, just every single time it flipped bullish right there. You could go through this with every single token out there. You would have bought here, and just on the monthly, if you just did it on the monthly, and you would have sold up here. Okay, you can do that with any token out there. Let's just pick one, Cardano, just out of the blue. All right, on the weekly, let's check it. And I'm just doing this to show you guys how. Here we go on the weekly. All right, the weekly was at the bottom, so you buy. You bought here. Weekly got to the top, you sell here. All right, back here. Weekly was at the bottom, bought, at the top, sold. Weekly was at the bottom here, you bought, got to the top, you sold. Okay, very simple strategy. You know, you could go through this. If that is the only way you traded, you would have a very, very high success rate. Okay, at the bottom right here, it told you to buy. You bought right here. It got to the top, so you sell. As soon as it hits the top, you sell it. You get rid of it. All right, you could go through this. Once in a blue moon, you'll lose. This one here was a winner too. You know, it's very hard to get a loser in this. You would have bought here because it would have been at the bottom right here. Got to the top, you would have sold. Okay, you would have made off this one. You would have made 64% of your money. So if you had 100, you'd have 164. This one here, if you would have bought, sold at the top, you would have 100 turned into 145, or 1,000 would have turned into 1,450. You know, you go right down the line. And the bigger the moves, the better. You know, at the beginning of a bull run, if you do that. And if you go out on the monthly is even the better one. That's the one that is extremely accurate. Okay, let's go with Bitcoin. All right, just with Bitcoin here. All right, if you would have, for instance, when it was at the bottom, you would have bought here. Okay, you would have bought Bitcoin at what, $240. Whoops, sorry about that. Let's get rid of that. All right, you would have waited. It was still at the top, riding it. You would have sold way up there. Once again, at the bottom, right here, you would have bought right in this range. It was down at the bottom here for a long time. Sold at the top. Okay, you would have made, what? You would have 3.5 extra money. So, very, very simple strategy, and it is very, very accurate. You know, look at this one. Look at this one here. If you would have bought right when it flipped bullish, okay, right when the blue flips on the outside of the orange, right, if the orange is on the outside, that's bearish. As soon as it flipped bullish here, the blue went on the outside, that's when you would have bought. Right to the top, when the orange flipped outside, sold. Alright, same thing here. Blue on the outside, flipped right here, bought. Right here where it flipped, sold. Alright, you can't go wrong. I mean, you're going to win probably 99% of your trades. You know, and if you just did that, you know, on a monthly with 10 different coins, you know, who knows? You could turn 100,000 into, who knows, 10 million. I have no idea. You know, you'd have to, it would depend on what tokens or coins you were in, how long you stayed in them, and but it works. All right. So to get to the bottom line here with Kaspa, all right, we are watching for that area to break. And we're going to take a look at it right here. Just like I said, keep an eye on them areas right there. Oop, excuse me. All right up here, the 0.093 in that very last area at 0.0946. If them areas break, the ABC is out and we're going to higher prices. Watch for 11.2. 0.112 cents to be the next target after that. All right, guys, thank you so very, very much, guys. Please hit the like and subscribe. Consider becoming a member of the channel. I could really use you, and it helps me out a ton. So have a great night, everybody. I will talk to you very soon.